When I was in Spain, my wife and my family and I were in Spain as Bible teachers and evangelists, and I would take groups of young people into cities, sometimes a good-sized town, and that didn't have a witness for Christ. Sometimes they didn't even have a known believer. And there we would spend 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, evangelizing on the streets, going door to door, working with children, working with young people, announcing the message of Jesus Christ and watching people get saved. And one summer, I was in a town south of Seville, the town of Correa del Rio. And there was a missionary couple that was trying to get a church started, which, by the way, they did a good job and picked up after we left. And I had a group of young people, a real neat group, about 40 of us. And there were some Germans and there were some Swedes in this group, as I remember, as well as all of our Spaniards. And as we get going, this guy shows up kind of in our group, in our little setting. Now, I have a hard time describing this guy. First of all, you do not want to be downwind of this guy. I don't think his body ever saw a body of water. And if it was, when it rained, and we were in the desert part of Spain, so I don't think he ever got wet. And his hair was a matted mess. His clothes were tattered. His face looked terrible, and he was drunk. And he's messing around in and around our team. Now, I am the team leader, and I am responsible for everything that takes place with the people in our team. So I am disturbed by this guy's presence. And his name, because I asked him one day, toward the end of our campaign, it was a 2-week campaign, I said to him, ¿Cómo te llamas? What's your name? He said, Yo me llamo Miguel. My name is Miguel. Then I said to him, ¿Qué es que quieres aquí? What is it that you want here? And his answer was very simple. Yo quiero tener lo que los jóvenes tienen. I would like to have what these young people have. Oh. So even though he was obviously pretty well under the influence of alcohol, sat down with Miguel and explained the way of salvation. And I asked him, I said, Miguel, would you open up your heart and accept Jesus to cleanse your sin and to make you a new person? He said, yes, I would. And we prayed. And then the campaign was over, left. Okay. Next year, we have a campaign in a province above, 2 provinces above Seville, the province of Cáceres. And we had our young people coming together, just getting ready for the campaign to start. And this young fella comes up to me, nice, good-looking guy, pretty well dressed and everything, and he says, hi, do you remember me? Now, don't do that to me. I don't remember anything. And I'm at the age now where I have a good excuse. I got Alzheimer's. I don't know who the world you are. No, okay. So he says, my name is Miguel. I said, yeah, 5 other guys here are named Miguel. I mean, it's just like saying my name is John. Okay. Everybody's named that. Okay. He says, I think that this might explain a little bit more who I am. And he reaches in his pocket, pulls out his wallet. Now, in Spain, you have to have an ID card. Everybody has to have an ID card, except gypsies. They don't include those as human beings. But anyway, you have to have an ID card. And it has your picture on it. So he had 2 of them. Okay. He said, you know, I was in the campaign that you had down there in my hometown of Correa del Rio. And after the campaign, the police called me to the police station. And I thought to myself, well, now what the world did I do? Because he didn't remember half of what he did. He was drunk all the time. And they said, Miguel, we got a problem. Said, we know who you are. He was thrown out of his home when he was 6. His mother couldn't stand him. He did not attend any school. No school would take him. He spent most of his life stealing because he had no job. It's the only way he could eat. He spent nearly half of his young life in prison. He was considered the town worthless piece of human garbage. And his ID card looked like it. And the police said, you know what? Something's happened to you. And we're going to have to give you a new ID card. He says to me, this is my testimony. This before Christ and this after. He made me a new person. Found out later that the first person he led to the Lord was his mother. You see, I was looking with the eyes of man at a wreck of a miserable human being. Jesus was looking at his son. And I didn't have that vision. God changed my vision that day. Perhaps in your life, you look at people and judge them by how they look. When you're raising children, are you guilty of measuring one to another, making value statements according to their physical abilities, their looks, their behavior? Listen, every one of them is 100% created in the image of God. Every one of them has a human soul that will last for eternity. Every one of them is loved by God. Do we love them? Is that how we see them?